Today, Dylan and I are going to be ranking our 5 biggest hero and villain stories of the UFC. So I've picked my 5 villains and 5 heroes, and Dylan's picked his, and we don't know who each other has picked. Now, I will spoil, mine are heroes and their corresponding villains.
I did that as well.
Okay, yeah, so mine are connected. Every single one is like yin and yang. All right.
I guess I'll start it off first. My first hero is Leon Edwards. I think he's a very stereotypical, basic superhero kind of thing. I had his villain as Colby Covington.
Ooh, that's
I wish
good.
we would have seen more out of that because the buildup was actually really good. And I think it was probably within like the last like year, like not calendar year, but like the last year, 365 days, it's probably been some of the best buildup. The way that Colby was just trash talking Leon's family was intense. And I really wish we had someone who wasn't Leon who was getting trash talked like that. Because like I remember them talking about it afterwards, like this dude just bashed your dead father, right? And like you just went to a decision. Like, come on, head kick, kill him.
It's like that meme where he's poking him with a stick. Like, come on, do something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like Colby's a very stereotypical villain. Leon's a very stereotypical hero. It works out really good. They've already fought, you know, they have the history.
Yeah. My first pick is also Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington.
Oh,
So we're a little bit... No, we're not doing this again. So, yeah, I guess we're in sync right now. But like you were saying, I was thinking of, okay, who had the best buildups in their fights? And it has to be Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington.
I don't want to spoil anything, but are all of your fights that have already happened or some of them okay, I have
Some
a
of
mix.
mine are coming up.
I have a mix.
Yeah. Which
What
is...
if you go 5 for 5?
That would be insane. We might,
We could.
because there's some obvious ones,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share my second pick. So
All right.
my second pick is a fight that's coming up very soon. It's Whitaker versus Shemaev. Because Whitaker, in my eyes, is like, he's such a hero.
But he plays the villain. I don't
He's
know.
such a nice guy,
He's
though.
an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's like such a nice guy outside the ring. And then when he's in the ring, he kind of flips the switch. But everyone roots for him.
That's true.
Like everyone loves Rob Whitaker. And then Shemaev, he is kind of a bit of a villain. He loves to be the, you know, smash everything, destroy everything, kill everyone. So it's coming up and I think it's relevant. So that's why I picked it.
All right, I'm going to switch it back to a little bit of an old school one. I have Habib as my hero and Connor as my villain.
Wait, Connor's the villain?
Yeah, Connor it was the villain of that story.
Jeez, I had that written down, but the flip version.
Really?
I got rid of it though.
I think that Habib's not like a stereotypical hero. I think he's more like an anti-hero, like a Deadpool type superhero. But Connor was always the bad guy. He's the one that's poking the bear. He's the one that's talking the trash. And
That's true.
Habib's there to fight and to beat Connor. Connor's not a hero.
Well, I guess how I see it is like the hero is like who everyone roots for, and the villain is like who no one wants to see win.
Yeah, and you more times than not see a hero or a villain champion, and then like the hero's chasing the title.
True.
But let me know in the comments who you think
Yeah,
was
that's
the
a good
hero
one.
and who was the villain of that rivalry.
I like that. Okay, my next pick is going to be Volk and Taporia. Volk, obviously the hero, and Taporia the villain. Taporia plays a really good villain. We were talking the other day, and you said that you could see him starring in some sort of action movie.
As the villain.
Yeah, which now I can't unsee.
All right, let me paint a little picture for you.
Okay.
So we had 3 fights between Max and Volk. And while neither of them were really a hero villain, they're more both heroes. It's very much a Batman versus Superman type thing, okay? And then Elliot Taporia comes in here and he slays Volk. He kills Volk. Now we have the new hero, the man who fought beside Volkanovski, Max Holloway versus Ilya Taporia at UFC 308, which is the big blockbuster new superhero movie. Max Holloway is my next hero and Ilya is my next villain. Max has the whole UFC community behind him right now, and he's going to take on the new villain of the UFC. Like, I think that's probably the best pick on my list.
I like that a lot. That's really good. And we have all similar ones so far.
Yeah.
But I picked Volk as the hero because it's something that's already happened.
Yeah, I thought about that one, but I think with recency,
Yeah.
I went with Max as my hero.
That's fair. Okay, my next pick is again something that hasn't happened yet, but it is something that needs to happen. It's Tom Aspinall as the hero and John Jones as the villain.
I also have Tom Aspinall versus John Jones on my
You
list.
have to.
You have to. I actually originally, that was the one I changed last minute. I had DC versus John Jones, but I was
Ooh,
but
that's
then
good.
I was like, why would I not just go with Tom Aspinall? Like, Tom Aspinall is literally a superhero.
DC versus John Jones is an underrated pick.
But it's like, it's the best it's the top 2 rivalry of all time.
I didn't even think of it. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
No, I didn't.
I just wanted it to not be as much like best rivalries of all time. I was trying to stay away from that. Because that can be a different story, but...
That's fair. Okay, and now on to my number 1 pick. I think we both have the same pick. The man who followed Izzy Adesanya to the UFC, Poatan.
Who's your hero and who's your villain?
Well, as the story dictates, Izzy was the hero and Poatan was the villain who was following him. So even though I think Poatan is a better person and I like him more, in the story, Izzy was the hero, Pereira was the villain. And I remember watching both those fights live. And in the first one, everyone was cheering for Izzy, or everyone I knew. And then in the second one, everyone was like, wait, we actually like Poatan. So we need you to win. And then, of course, he loses. So it's the best storyline that I've got to witness. So that's why I put it number 1.
I also have Pereira and Izzy as my last one. And it's very storybook. Like, Pereira beat Izzy twice in kickboxing, and then they moved to the UFC. Pereira follows Izzy, goes and takes Izzy's championship, and then finally in their 4th fight, second in the UFC, Izzy finally slays the giant and beats Poatan to reclaim his championship that Pereira stole from him.
It is like by far the most storybook ending.
Oh, 100%.
That win has aged so well for Izzy compared to what Poatan has been able to do in a light heavyweight division. I don't know. Is it a fluke? No, because it's in the cage and, you know, it's a counterpunch. But at the same time, if I watch that fight at 205, I don't think there's any chance above 5% that Izzy wins.
It's I would give it an 80-20. Izzy still is one of the best fighters of all time. You have to give him some credit. You know, he does have one punch KO power, as we saw in that fight.
Yeah. All right. And that does it for this video. Let us know if you agree with our picks and if there's any storylines you old heads know about and we forgot. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
See ya.